Hey, I'm Alex with Marcs Mobility. In this video, we're going to show you our top 5 full-size power chairs on the market currently today in 2025. Once again, I'm Alex with Marcs Mobility, and what we're going to show you in this video is our top 5 full-size power chairs currently for 2025. Now, I do want to mention that this is not going to include bariatric models, which are typically going to be over that 300-pound weight capacity. And full-size power chairs are not going to include the folding type power chairs as well. So full size is typically going to be something that is going to not be a portable unit, that is going to be something used primarily inside your home or at least outside on a hard top surface. Once again, this is our opinion on the top 5, so there might be other units that might be in your top 5, but for us, we're trying to base this on the quality, the manufacturer, the dependability, and just the overall unit itself. So, number 5 on my list is going to be the Dueler by Marcs USA. Now, the Dueler is also called the P312. This is a unique product to the market for multiple reasons. This unit has the ability to be either driven as a front wheel or a rear wheel driven unit. Basically, the seat can swivel. I think it only goes to the right and it swivels 180 degrees. While that seat swivels, it actually hits a sensor that inverts the joystick. So forward will always be forward no matter if you're facing rear wheel or front wheel. So some of the advantages of that is a rear wheel drive is going to track a little bit better outside where your bigger drive tires are in the back. It's going to help you kind of climb over objects. When you rotate it back around to the front, it's going to be a front wheel driven unit, and that's going to be a little bit easier to navigate inside your home. So I've had some users use this unit, particularly for going into a bathroom, having somewhat of a smaller area to turn around. They were kind of had a hard time doing that, but they're able to swivel the seat so they could drive in forward, swivel the seat, and drive out forward. So that is pretty useful. There is a foot plate on both sides of the unit. And then on top of that as well, there is about a 5 to 6 inch seat lift as well that comes standard on this unit. Now, I do want to mention before we get too far in this video as well that there are going to be descriptions with the links to our website down below. If you would also go ahead and like and subscribe this video, it does help us as a small family-owned business. Now, a few of the negatives that I would say with the Dueler is it's not really going to be any kind of customization you're going to get with the unit. Every once in a while, they do change the colors. They might have 1 or 2 different fender colors for the unit, but the seat size, the battery size, it's basically going to be a one-size-fits-all. Once again, every product in this video is going to be up to a 300-pound weight capacity. So you are going to get about 5-mile-an-hour overall speed, and I believe you have somewhere in that 21-inch turning radius. It probably makes number 5 on my list just honestly just due to the manufacturer. Marcs USA is, I wouldn't say it's a bad manufacturer, but it's not some of the top tier manufacturers such as like Mobility that's out on the market, but all manufacturers typically do have at least 1 or 2 good products. So that's why number 5 on my list is going to be the Dueler P312 by Marcs USA. Number 4 on my list is going to be the Evo 613 by Mobility. Now you will see an Evo 613 and a 613 Li. It's basically the same unit with just 2 different battery options. So that is one of the perks of this particular unit. On the Evo, you are able to get your standard steel lead acid batteries, or you're able to purchase the unit with a lithium battery option as well. Lithium batteries are going to be a little bit lighter, they're going to last a little bit longer, and they're going to charge a little bit faster. And the easier way of charging, which we have other videos showing you how to charge batteries as well. But on the Evo, it is a mid-wheel drive design. It does have a memory foam seat, so it is a very comfortable seat that does have limited recline on it. The seat can swivel all the way around. What makes the Evo 613 also nice is you are able to choose between somewhere in that 5 to 6 different color shroud options for the unit. The Evo is also a narrow wheelbase as well at 22 inches wide. Most everything else on this is 23 to 24 inches wide. But I do want to mention to you, unless you're going with the 16, maybe the 18-inch seat, but I even believe the 18-inch seat is just going to be a hair wider at your arm rest length. So sometimes it could be a little bit misleading saying 22-inch wheelbase. That is accurate, but depending on what size seat you go with, you have to think each one of your armrests is going to be about 2.5 inches on either side of your seat. So an 18-inch seat puts you out about 23 inches in overall width. They do list that this unit goes about 5.1 miles an hour. Honestly, from me driving it compared to other products that they list at 5 miles an hour, this does seem a little bit quicker on the market. So it does seem to accelerate nice. Not anything that's like uncomfortable driving, but it does seem to have a little bit more power and get up. So it does seem to, in my opinion, go faster than the 5 miles an hour as what you see else standard on the market today. So now on this list, this is going to be the only option that does have a lithium battery option. Once again, it makes the unit a little bit lighter in weight, but it also is going to increase your range up to about 21 miles overall total drive distance. You get about 17 miles on the sealed lead acid battery. So, you know, between the comfort of the seat, the swivel, the overall speed of the unit, and just the look and the feel of it, this is kind of why on my list, number 4 is going to be the Evo 613 by Pride Mobility. Number 3 on our list is going to be the Jazzy 600 ES by Pride Mobility. Now this product's been on the market for a long time, so it's very well true and tested. This is a mid-wheel drive unit as well. There is only one battery option with this unit. Once again, it's 300-pound weight capacity like everything else we mentioned. But some of the reasons why I do like this unit is it does sit on 4 posts. So although it does not swivel the seat, which somebody might seem as a negative, it could be a positive for others. And the reason being is sitting on a single seat post sometimes makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable, where this sits on 4 posts, so it's a very stable unit. And you're also able to get built-in tie-down points like transit loops that built right into the frame. So whether you want to put this on the back of your vehicle and tie it down, or have any type of transportation, public transportation, you do have the built-in tie-down points directly on this unit. There is going to be suspension on this unit. It is going to be the true mid-wheel drive, so it is going to have a pretty sharp turning radius. And it is overall just a very comfortable unit with good suspension on it as well. You will see later on this video an honorable mention by Quantum. It's made by the same manufacturer, so this is kind of their non-rehab version chair. But once again, it's just going to be a very dependable, true and tested unit that does sit on 4 posts. There is not really going to be any color customization on it. It does only come in red, but you are going to have a few different seat sizes based on the overall dimensions of the user. So once again, this could be higher or lower on some people's list, but for me, I just feel like for what it is and the dependability of the unit, this is why on number 3 on my list is going to be the Jazzy 600 ES by Pride Mobility. Number 2 on my list is going to be the Jazzy Air 2 by Pride Mobility. Now before I get into this unit, I do want to mention that this particular unit does have a 12-inch seat lift on this. So I do also have videos on top elevating power chairs on the market today, and the Jazzy Air 2 is technically number 1 on a lot of my other videos. The reason why it might be number 2 on this video is simply because you might not need the seat lift, and the price point is going to be a hair higher than some of the other products that are on this list. But once again, it does have a seat lift that elevates up to 12 inches in only 11 seconds. That's going to take your seat to ground height from 21 inches when it's all the way down up to 33 inches. So that is going to be a super useful thing if you need to get inside your home and you want to reach up into your cabinets, or you want to cook and look down into your pots and pans. And simply also too, we've had people that go and travel with these units. They go in hotels. They say some of the beds are higher or have different degrees off the ground, and so they like to use a slide board to transfer in and out of their bed. So simply, you don't have to use the whole 12-inch elevate. Let's say your bed height is 26 inches. You can raise this up. Typically with a slide board, if you want to actually be 27 inches, about an inch higher than the board, and let gravity do the work to slide you in the bed. Same concept when you go to get in the chair, lower the seat down so then you can slide down and simply let gravity do its thing, allowing you to transfer in and out of the chair. Now the chair is also going to be very customizable with different seat sizes. Actually, pretty much everything on this list is going to have a pan seat option as well. But on the Air 2, you do going to have a limited recline. You are going to have a 16, an 18, or a 20-inch seat. The depth is also adjustable on these seats. The colors are also going to be optional based on, you can choose which color you want for your unit. Now the unit does sit on a seat post. So there is not going on that seat lift. It's on a main big bracket. So there's not going to be any swivel ability on this chair. But honestly, it is a well, true and tested chair that's been on the market for probably at least half a decade, just the Air 2 itself. It is going to be something that is going to go approximately 4 miles an hour and somewhere up to that 17-mile drive range, depending on what batteries you're going to put in the unit. So once again, the Jazzy Air 2 could fit on number 1 on my list, but really just simply because it's a slight higher price point than the rest is why I left it at number 2, the Jazzy Air 2 by Pride Mobility. We also want to do an honorable mention in this list as well. Pretty much the Quantum Rehab products. Most all of these are going to be that 300-pound weight capacity. A few of them are the bariatric, but we're talking about the standard 300-pound weight capacity chairs. Quantum across the board is probably one of the top manufacturers out there in quality of products. So these are going to have suspension, they're going to be really smooth, they're going to have really powerful motors. They're just very dependable units. Obviously with the Quantum, the Rehab type chair, you're able to get different seat functions and things on them. Now it is going to be a higher price point chair, and I do want to mention that we do sell these gently used as well for a fraction of the cost. So if you do look at the links below, we'll have a section to the used Quantums on our website. And also I want to throw in here as well that pretty much for every product on this list, and also pretty much most things that are on the market, we do sell batteries and do drop ship those across the US. So if you're looking for batteries for anything on this list, or pretty much most other products that we do sell, we'll have a battery option available for you as well. A couple other things that make the Quantums great is the speed is going to be a little bit higher. They typically do sit on that 4-post, so it is going to be a stable unit, and the overall suspension is going to be very good. And typically on Quantums, you're going to have a higher ground clearance as well. So some of the advantages, you are able to put some of these easy lock and Q-lock brackets underneath your unit for transportation. So this in a summary is why I have honorable mention with my Quantum products here on this list. Number one on my list is going to be the Jazzy Select by Mobility. Now Mobility has been out on the market for about 30 years, probably longer than 30 years, and they are the gold standard in the industry based on the products that they sell and the customer service after the fact of the sale. So there's really nobody else that even comes close to Pride. So if you'll watch most of my videos, you'll see Pride's products are typically in my top 5 list, and a lot of the number 1 products are going to be a Mobility product. Not for any biased reason, but simply for the fact that they just stand behind their product and they make great quality products. So with that being said, the Jazzy Select is probably their gold standard of their basic unit that they've had on the market for pretty much since they've been in existence. They have had different looks of the Selects over the years, but probably the past decade, the current Jazzy Select that you'll see in the link below or maybe in the picture overlay is what they're going to have. They upgraded the tires to a little bit bigger. They made a little bit more sleek design. Now there's not going to be color options on this unit. There are going to be different seat size options. It is a front wheel driven unit, which does have a nice metal foot plate. So it's going to be one that's going to be easy to clean. And it does kind of not have that slick, slippery ability where your feet are going to slide off of the foot plate. The overall unit, because it's been out so long, it's so true and tested that we sell so many of these, and rarely ever do we have issues with these units. So if somebody was to say, hey, I want a good, dependable, basic chair for my parents that's not going to break down, that's going to last them 5 to 10 years and not have any issues, this is the first chair that would come to my mind. I would say a Jazzy Select. Also want to mention to you as well, we run pretty much very frequently specials and promotions on this product as well. So definitely give us a call or shoot us an email and let us know. We can see what we can do for you on this particular product. Now the Jazzy Select is also going to come with a swivel seat, which is going to be standard. It does have large enough tires that if you can take this indoors, and you can also take it outdoors as long as it's going to be on somewhat compact terrain. So once again, if it's grass but it's not wet and it's not overly thick, I have people that are able to drive through the yard to go to their mailbox in different places. Now once again, nothing on this list is going to be portable, but I do really like the Jazzy Select for everything that I mentioned, and honestly this is what I would put one of my loved ones in if I had a choice.
Hi, I'm Marc.
And my name is Alex. We're co-owners of Marcs Mobility.
I started this company in 1995.
We sell many products, not just what you see in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please call us at the number below at 800-677-6293. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.